School Freeware's Visual Basic Express 2010 Tutorials. Tutorial 38. Copy and Paste Arrays. Section 1 of 2. EZInvaders Part 7. The invaders will be copied and pasted into the form. The code will be modified to support parallel arrays. And for more information on parallel arrays, see Tutorial 12 and 13. The code for this tutorial can be found at schoolfreeware.com for anybody who wishes to follow along. Some of the changes to the code includes adding the invader array, changing iWrite into an array, and changing the picture box 1 into invaders X. To load the invaders into the array, the code is as follows. We will work with 10 invaders within the game. Here's an example on how to move the invaders around the screen. We have the counter X starting at 1 to the number of invaders, and we will loop through each array, moving the invader accordingly. Now comes time to add a few more invaders to our game, and one of the ways of doing it is to manually copy and paste more invaders into the form and then add them into an array. So what I'll do is I'll just simply click on the invader, Control C and Control V, and it looks like we lost part of the image there, so I'll just go back to image and I'll select the invader, and I'll see here Control C, Control V. Okay, 3 invaders, 4 invaders, 5 invaders, 6 invaders, 7 invaders, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, from there I'll just simply move them in order like so. Move the shot out of the way. And there we have 10 invaders looking pretty good. Okay, from there what we have to do is load them into an array, so I'll just simply double click on timer here just to go into the code. And what I'm going to need here is to make a constant num of invaders as integer, and since I have 10 of them in there, I'll just add 10 altogether. And while we're at it, we need to modify the invader right into a array. So we have invader right num of invaders dim invaders, and the num of invaders. So that is our array of invaders, and we'll set that one as picture box since we're using picture boxes. And before I forget, I also need to put dim x as integer, so that way we use that as a counter for going through the arrays of invaders. So with iWrite, first of all, we're going to go to the load settings, and I'll just simply put in a for loop for me.x as a counter equals 1 to num of invaders. We'll have iWrite x as true. So therefore all the invaders are moving out to the right, so as the for loop cycles through, we set each invader with its setting of right. Next, put in load invaders. And I'll go down to the bottom here and make a private sub. Load invaders. And here is where we'll load the invaders into the array. So we have invaders 1 for the first part of the array is equal to picture box 1. Now I'll simply copy and paste. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots for each invader. And I'll just change the position in the array. Try that again. 8, 9, 10. Once again, for picture box, we have picture box 2, picture box 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there is the invaders loaded into the array. Everything looks pretty good. So now we have to make a few modifications. So first of all, when we have moving the invader, have to set up as a for loop for me.x equals 1 to num of invaders, and we'll just have iWrite x, converting this into an array. And instead of having picture box 1, we need to have invaders x, converting this into the array. Same thing, for every place we have picture box 1, we just need invaders x. So that way, as it loops through, it checks each invader. I'll simply copy and paste this from now on. So all picture box 1, we don't need this anymore, is converted into invaders x. And all iWrite is converted into iWrite x. Okay, that looks pretty good. So here, we'll check with game over. Converting the picture box 1 into invaders x. For me.x equals 1 to num of invaders. Next, ending the for loop. I'll see if I remember to put a for loop up there. Nope. There we are. Next, for that for loop here within move invaders. This is kind of a difficult, annoying situation, going back and modifying for multiple invaders. For this converting, it's not too bad. If you make a mistake, the computer will tell you where the mistake is. So if you miss a picture box, instead of having invaders x, the computer will point that out, and I'm sure that I will miss a few before I go ahead and try to run this. Go through, double check, make sure that all iWrites are set to iWrite x, and all picture boxes are set to invaders x. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Now, I have the computer set for one invader being hit, so I'm going to need a counter of those shot down as integer. So that way, when the number of invaders shot down is equal to the number of invaders, we know that all the invaders are shot down and the game will end.